this is your September 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, then this reading might resonate. It's Romy. I appreciate you taking the time to tune into the channel. So we're going to open up this month for you with the energy of the Six of Wands. Now this month, I think you're really being invited to face who you think you're not, because these are the beliefs and the thoughts that have been holding you back, and the signs that are going to be really pointing you towards this are coming from people repeatedly saying the same thing to you. And, perhaps the suggestion or the fact that they already believe you were that person or that you were doing that thing. And you're going to find an awful lot of humor and an awful lot of humility and truth as you really face up to perhaps areas in your life that you have not given yourself permission to kind of fully take up space and feel empowered in. The last few weeks have taught you an awful lot. And as we open up into September and Venus goes direct on the 3rd, we are now starting to see the kind of fruits of some of the growth. And that growth might have hit you quite hard, particularly in the areas around your relationships, even around your money consciousness and around your own innate sense of value. But September is a time where you're making space in your life for something incredibly beautiful to flow in. And it's really the beginnings of a completely new approach and strategy. Perhaps one that you have played with before, perhaps even experimented a little bit with. But now you're giving yourself recognition and permission to say, no, this is something that I know not only I can do, but is actually something that's meant for me. And it's like every day through the month, another piece of the puzzle drops in. And so you have to remember that you have to create the space for that something to drop into. We have Jupiter shifting retrograde right after Venus goes direct on the 4th of the month. This affords you the opportunity for a lot of internal growth and expansion to take place. What I really love with the Jupiter retrograde transit is it helps us to come to a place where we can act as if. So as you are still perhaps some distance from where you want to be, in September is definitely this kind of renewed commitment emerging for how you're going to tackle some of the challenges or, some of the spaces that you need to fill with what it's going to take to get you there. This invitation from Jupiter over the next few weeks helps you to show up, to think, to speak, to express, and to become everything that you desire. And in that whole first week of September, we actually have some really sweet astrological conversations taking place. The Sun will trine with Jupiter on the 8th, and there's something showing up. There's a really beautiful blessing coming in around this time. And perhaps you will be returning to something that you love, or indeed with the Six of Wands, really getting some recognition and, seeing a successful outcome for your endeavors. There's also something quite public around that Six of Wands. So if you've been contemplating and thinking about when the right time to share or communicate or have the conversation or bring something out into the light, for other people to now be aware of, I think that first week of September is also going to feel for you like a good time. Even though, yes, we still have Mercury retrograde right through till the 15th, I think there's still that sense that you are ready. And you're ready to kind of agree and negotiate, I think, an interim situation with somebody that I think has been causing you some sleepless nights. It's definitely been a root source of some anxiety and stress that you've had to navigate the last few weeks. I think you both know that it's not going to serve you in the long term. So whatever it is that you're sort of putting together for this interim period, however long that needs to be, whether it's days, weeks, a few months, it will serve you in the now, because you're still in this process of like evaluating and reflecting, and this strategy is still forming itself for you. So it's almost like you're not quite ready to kind of fully commit anyway yourself. And best that we kind of clear out the shadow of the Venus transit, which will take us through to October. And of course, next month, we're going to have that eclipse energy, coming in really powerfully for you. So, of course, Nine of Swords can feel at times like an unwanted energy to have to deal with, but I think this isn't a surprise to you. This is nothing new. And in fact, alongside that Six of Wands, there is a suggestion here that something that comes out, even if it's, in agreement, or even if you're the one that's sharing it, there still seems to be some anxiety or kind of concern or some fears that are being activated for you. It's almost like, oh, it's now or never, or I can't go back, or there's no going back after this. And, there's a sense of September sort of delivering almost like this, I can't quite believe my eyes that this is actually happening. Now, I don't see that in any way as a stressful situation, but I do see it as something that is perhaps feeling a little overwhelming, or such a dramatic U-turn or major change from where you thought you were going, or what you thought was going to happen, or what you'd expected or anticipated. And again, there might just be some sort of what if scenarios. My Nine of Swords is always my what if. And, there's the invitation to kind of keep a check again on who you think you're not, because where are you limiting yourself, or where do you feel like you're not capable, or you're not going to be able to cope with any eventuality, with everything that comes your way. You already have an absolutely proven track record in regards to that. We have the asteroid goddess Pallas Athena coming into your sign on the 13th. And here we get some really innovative solutions. Remember, Mars is already in your sign. And so the diplomacy you can bring to situations also brings this real thoughtfulness, and the communication that starts to open up around that time is going to be incredibly powerful. What I want to say to you is it's very important that you don't suppress how you feel and almost take that like you're protecting your peace or your nervous system, because innately that can lead to some kind of dissociation on your part. And what we need to do is to feel what is coming up for us, because that's our emotional guidance system saying this is the way through. Because I see like the potential of that ending up, if you do try to suppress, that you're almost selling yourself short, and particularly where you might be trying to negotiate or figure something out. And so in the attempt to resolve or just bring peace, because that's your natural tendency, you can actually find a swifter resolution by being quite clear and assertive and fighting for your value. Remember, that's what Venus has been teaching you these last few weeks. So all you need to do is look back and be like, what are those really intense, hard lessons I've just learned? And now's going to be your opportunity. And remember, the universe will give you all sorts of opportunities through the course of September to kind of walk your talk in that way. Remember all the connections in your life, whatever energy level they come in, whether they be romantic, platonic, in business and family, you're never meeting another person at exactly the same level of consciousness. And so when you accept this, you allow that time and space and any healing that's needed in order that you both evolve. And I think you're really clear about the people that are meant to be in your life at this exact moment. And so there's this willingness to not kind of force or push away, but rather to face things. Because this is a month where we also get to harvest. We get to see the rewards of a lot of the work that we've put in within ourselves. And, of course, we're playing out with this me versus we, and the polarity is intense. And so what it means is I see you having to kind of be present but unattached. Come across in quite a fierce, ready, assertive energy, but also be very vulnerable. In the flexing of this kind of self-awareness, you're going to notice new things, and you're going to receive a lot of new ideas and inspiration. Now, the Eight of Wands tells me there's something like already in motion here. It's almost like the train left the station. It's too late to kind of stop this path. So it's down to you now to keep creating space for what's going to show up. Everything within you told you this was the right direction. So if you start to have some uncertainty or doubts, or you're coming up against some challenges that feel like it's kind of in opposition to that, remember there's reasons why all of that came through for you. And perhaps it's just at this moment an opportunity, especially as we have the new moon Virgo on the 14th, for you to regain a sense of rhythm. And there's a preparation that's coming in here. Now, there's some practical foundations that you're going to have to start putting in place, especially mid-month. It's really important. I think this is going to be absolutely necessary in order for something to click into place. You'll be glad that you did it. Six of Cups tells me there's a returning energy to something. So perhaps you already begun or initiated this some time ago. Now's the time when you get the green light, or you just feel more ready to deal with it, to cope with it. Or there's a missing piece of the puzzle that now lands in September that you didn't know you were waiting for, but it's going to make absolute sense to you around that time, okay? We also have asteroid goddess Vesta shifting into Cancer, and Ceres moving into Scorpio, these water energies. Both of these goddess, coming through with very nurturing, nourishing, and really sparking that inner creative energy to help you birth something new. You'll be incredibly protective of the people in your world with Vesta and Cancer. Yeah, the clients that you have, the team that you're a part of, the family, the soul family, the friendships, and again, as you perhaps reevaluate like the meaning of people in your life, that's really going to help you to direct your energy in ways that are going to be more supportive. Now, we also on the 15th, when Mercury goes direct, we have the Sun trining with Uranus, and I have a feeling you're in for a little bit of an unexpected situation arise around that time of the month. This feels, even though you were not necessarily anticipating the timing of it happening now, it feels like it's in perfect divine order, and there's a sort of recognition from you around that. You're like, oh, okay, I know why this has shown up now. And this is not a negative surprise. Like, this feels like something that can help unlock a door, or help you sort of feel a little bit more confident, or even put you in touch or in the path of someone or something that energetically is going to really support you. Okay? Where you are seeking something or someone to complete you, and the universe is saying this month, you're already enough. So what part of you needs reminding of this? And there is a crystal clear sign that comes in again around that new moon, around that 14th, 15th, 16th, just ahead of us kind of coming into your own solar returns. Remember, 12th house energy offers us a beautiful period for healing and for release and letting go. But there's something about the kind of activation, and it's connected to light. So it's all about the light, the color, the light, what the light is doing, something that comes in by way of a really strong, powerful spiritual sign for you, that helps you to realize where you've overlooked or been disregarding something or disassociating within yourself. And again, back to this original theme for you in September about being able to deal with who you think you are not. Now, High Priestess says you have something important, and what you have and what you're holding on to, that innate wisdom that's come not only through experience, but also been given to you from spirit, because you are the custodian of that. You are the person that's meant to share or express or be the one that kind of presents this. Again, there's a very important critical point of timing that's coming in September that will make sense to you, through the course of mid-month and as we start to come into your solar returns. Now, of course, we're also going to welcome the day after the sun shifts into your sign, the equinox. Day and night equal as the sun crosses over the celestial equator, helping you to harmonize and find a new rhythm, regain a sense of rhythm within yourself. Your King of Cups also tells me that the conversations that you're having around that time are really transcendent, and I think again might surprise you. So you might have been dealing with somebody in your world, like an important connection or relationship, and just feeling that they were incredibly narrow-minded or shut down or difficult to kind of communicate with. And I think they might really kind of surprise you around the energy of equinox by kind of revealing what their own journey of growth has taught them. And, you know, there'll be some real nuggets of gold that even you can learn something from. So again, that understanding that we're all at different levels of consciousness, and as we hold space for people to arrive in their own natural time, and we allow things to take their natural order, then it can bring much more harmony through for us. So we approach the end of the month and build our way up to the full moon in Aries, into your solar returns. You're feeling that spark, you're feeling that readiness for reinvention. There's something coming through with that King of Cups as well that puts you in an emotional receptivity that's kind of really attuning you to something. Like you're incredibly clear on what it will take. Yeah, what it's going to take for you. And again, that's going to make sense towards the end of the month. But that full moon in Aries brings up some frustration, brings up some impatience almost, you know, and remember it's kind of activating on your 7th house of relationships. It may be that you need to make some quite decisive choices around that time, okay? And revisit your intentionality, revisit your why. Now, my soul journeys this month, we have a new Equinox activation to support your rituals, but in the shadow work, we're also talking about revealing your true intentions, because sometimes we have to go much deeper. We know the clear reasons why we want what we want, but when we dig into the subconscious and help to make it conscious, which is indeed our shadow work, then what we can learn is that perhaps there's some wound energy, some fear energy. And again, that 9 of Swords is telling me that there's something we need to address in that. I think when you do, and you give yourself permission to explore it around, you know, the end of the month, as that Aries moon sort of hits home for you, you're also going to make peace with something. And the revisitation and the adjustment that will come in around a strategy is an absolute game changer. It's an absolute game changer for you this month, okay? So you can find the links for those soul journeys in the comment and description box underneath Libra, as well as a link for the goddess energies. So if you want to know how Pallas Athena, how Vesta, how Ceres affect you and where they sit in your own personal natal chart, you'll find all of that detail below. If you're new to the channel, our final 3 cards we cover off in the extended reading. Talk for another 30 minutes or so, giving you deeper insight to the month. We also look at a personal question, and we look at a relationship card for you. So if it's resonating and you're enjoying the work, please do check it out. Before we wrap, I'm going to give you some more revelations as we clarify these main cards and just see the direction we'll be taking that extended reading in. So 6 of Wands clarified with a 6. I love that energy for you. King of Wands. You know, I almost feel like something comes together, something works, something's successful, and then there might just be a little blip that comes in afterwards that's going to cause a little bit of panic, but you regain composure and control, like fully. 10 of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. You know, if finances and, you know, the money scenario is really strong on your mind this month, you have an incredible amount of access to new solutions. Yeah, things that you had not considered before. And remember what I said, people are going to be the signs for you this month, because they're going to keep saying the same thing to you over and over. Oh, I thought you did that. Or I thought you'd already looked into that. Or have you tried this? And it will just be the repetition of hearing it from multiple sources that is going to help you to realize, okay, the universe wants me to know this. And that's going to kind of put you on the course to be able to access information or support or help, okay? Right, let's put some more here. All the decks that I use, Libra, are also listed in the comment and description box underneath, yeah. So let's just have a look at the oracles. We're going to pull from Life Soul Vision, which is my own deck. So you can check out that sacred title along with Moon Musings. All of the info and what you can expect from those are over on my website. Let's have a look. We have Spirit Crane, Dance with the Divine. Beautiful. Detours from the Divine. A Wishing Tree. Spirit Bear, Ancestral Protection coming through here, the Gathering. Okay. All of this kind of indigo and purple, you know, third eye, crown chakra. You're just getting some like really beautiful messages coming through this month from your own guides. Okay, let's have a look at the Crow Oracle here for you. Okay, we have Night. I'm going to cover these messages in our extended reading. And finally, we have the Duck and the Chrysanthemum, and it's bringing luck. Beautiful. Again, this color, so powerful for you this month. Libra, thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. Happy solar returns for those of you September born. Can't wait to connect with you next month. Have a beautiful equinox, and I'll see you again soon.